Did you guys think I was gonna tuck my tail and run? Did you guys really think I was gonna run away after watching fucking Kamaru Usman dominate, look like he's 32 years old, and Joaquin Buckley look like he's never trained a day of wrestling in his life? Did you guys think I was really just gonna run away? That I was gonna disappear for another 3 months? Absolutely mistaken. I'm back and we're breaking down Hill versus Rountree. We're jumping right into this shit. I'm feeling a sweep this week. Let's stop with the bullshit. Let's get right into it. We're starting from the fucking bottom. All right, first up, we're getting Hamdi Adela Hamdi Adela Slob from Egypt, scammer from Egypt versus Kamara Usman's brother, Mohammed Usman. And guys, I got a couple of things to say. Nothing to do with the fight. I'm not breaking down a single piece of this fight. No P's and Q's of the fight. Hamdi Al is currently 8-0, 6-0, whatever you want to call it. He's a steroid cheat. He's been winning split decision robberies. I think his time's up. You know what 2025 has been for those undefeated fighters, man? Muhammad Usman's winning this one. I'll tell you what, another thing that's also going in the positive direction, the momentum of watching his brother break the losing streak, break the curse, turn back the clock. I think Muhammad Usman's going to do a little bit of the same this week. I think he's going to get the dub, and I think he's going to bounce back and have a big performance. Lots of laying and praying, and I wouldn't want to be laying and praying on this handy, sweaty slob guy. So, yeah, we're going to take Muhammad Usman to get the job done. 29-28, as close as it can get, but biting your nails the whole fight. But I think it's a lock. So, we're going with that. Okay, next up, we've got Tagir Olimbekov versus Azmat Maksum. And, I'm not going to really get into this one too much here. I just think Team Habib, how can I fade them? They're doing something different over there, in all seriousness. I just can't look at these two guys, man. They both look like jokes. Oh, fuck, man. We're picking Tagir. I'm not breaking this shit down. Azmat should just be a little bit worse everywhere. I'm not worried about the incoming power. Tagir should be able to shoot underneath it and just take this guy down. Beat him just like he did Clayton Carpenter, I guess. So should just be. Let's give this guy a jump up. Let's have him fight somebody real next up. So I'm not saying Azmat's bad, but going to split decision with Tyson Chicken or Tyson Nam, whatever the guy's name is, it's not a good look. So we're picking Tagir. Okay, we've got Arina Alexieva versus Claudia Segula. Claudia Segula, man. People forget. People forget. Now we're picking Irina Alexieva. Um, what do you want from me, man? Next up, I do have a little bit of a prediction here for you. So I did actually do a little bit of fight research on these two. Melissa Mullins, skillless, but she's got the grappling. She is capable of holding her up against the fence, getting the takedowns, getting submissions. She has shown some finishing ability. Daria looks like she can't hurt a fly on the feet. Granted, Melissa Mullins is a different level of trash on the feet. I still think she's going to be able to get the takedowns, hold her against the fence, kind of do what she wants. Daria looks very lanky and just not strong in there. I don't know. Both these girls suck. They'll be nothing. So let's just go with Melissa Mullins and, yeah. Next up, Ismail Nordia versus the Iron Turtle, Jung Young Park. Man, I hate to be that guy, man. I know this is going to be the people's favorite this week. Everybody loves the Iron Turtle, but I think he looks slow, man. I think Ismail Nordiev is gonna speed blitz this guy. I think he's gonna speed blitz. I think it's a real thing. It is. I think he's gonna speed blitz him. I think it's gonna be a problem. I think Ismail Nordiev is probably gonna piece him up on the feet. And Jung Young Park, I am worried about the grappling in terms of this pick of picking Ismail. I do like Jung Young Park. I did pick him against Brad Tavares. I don't know. There's a weird feeling about this one. I just feel like Ismail is going to be the guy that's going to be making improvements, whereas Jung Young Park's kind of, we know what he is. I think he's great. He's a good fighter. I think it's going to be a really close fight. 29-28, split decision. I think it's going to kind of look like that. Ismail Nordiev's going to take it away. I think this fight definitely goes to the distance. I think both the guys are decent enough and shit enough at the same time to have this be a distance fight. So give me Ismail Nordiev to kind of have a little bit of resurgence in his career after that bad start. Good start on his second run against Bruno Silva. So we're going to take Ismail Nordiev. So next up, we've got Sung Hyun Ko versus the little troll Oben Elliott. Oben Elliott, man. People forget, man. Oben Elliott, he's the next big thing here. He's the next guy in the division. Now we're picking Oben Elliott here. I just feel like the experience is gonna garner him a win. I think the Seung Ho Ko kid. I don't really bet on random Asians that just get dropped into the UFC out of nowhere that I don't know about. So I get it. He's got some power. He's a little bit sloppy, but I think Oben Elliott's good enough. Split decision merchant, decision merchant type of guy. I really do want to fade Oben here, but mm, I don't know if I could in the right mind. So yeah, I think we're gonna go with Sung Young Ko. No, we're not. Okay, let me give you your absolute lock of the week here. We're gonna be taking Muhammad Naimov versus Bogdan Grad. I've disliked this Bogdan Grad kid since he's gotten in here, since I saw him on the Dana White Contender Series. Dana White Contender Series. Um, yeah, I just think he's shit, man. I don't know. Just eye test alone, and I just think this kid's shit. I don't think he'll be anything, and I think he'll probably end up getting the shit beat out of him this one. I'm taking Muhammad Naimov by a very convincing. 29-28, dominantly winning 2 rounds, and Bogdan Grad maybe having. Nah, fuck that. We're taking Muhammad Naimov. The -3.5 is safe here. We're taking him to win all 3 rounds of this fight to just absolutely bully Bogdan Grad. This kid sucks. He's a little shit version, Walmart version of Yuri. So give me Muhammad Naimov. It's a pretty confident one for me there. That's going to be one of my lock pieces this week. All right, next up, we've got Nazim Sadikov versus Nicholas Mota. Um, I don't know if the odds, what they're showing should really be reflected here. I would probably prefer Nazim at a -300. I think that's a little bit more fair because I think people are sleeping on the knockout power of Nicholas Mota. The kid's tough, man. People forget, man. The kid's tough. He's got some knockout power, and Nazim's clean. He's a good technical striker. Obviously, had that beautiful question mark kick against Bonfim in his last fight, so that's an impressive look. He's always. I actually picked him to win that fight by knockout as well. Um, he looks good on the feet. He looks smooth. He looks technical. It looks like he's got a future in the top 15 and maybe in the top 10. So I'm gonna go with Nazim Sadikov. I think Nicholas Mota is just kind of an upset jobber with a big big overhand, big meaty hook there. So yeah, give me Nazim to go ahead and get this one done. That's gonna be the lock, another lock of the card. It's not a lock because the upset potential of Nicholas Mota. I get it. We've seen it before, but I'd be out of my mind to pick Nicholas Mota here. So we're going with Nazim Sadikov. Okay, probably the most perplexing matchup here on the card for me because Mitabek Orobai, the troglodyte, the caveman, the Neanderthal himself. He's one of my top 3 favorite fighters in the UFC currently, and I've had that opinion for a while here. And it's going to be hard, man, because I do want to fade him in this fight. I do want to fade him. I just don't think I can, man. Because I don't know what Tofik's going to look like at 35 in his debut in the UFC. He's obviously been beating up rising guys, beating up the rising jobbers, and doing good. But I've also seen some quitting him. I've looked at a couple of this guy's fights. He's obviously, I don't like that Mitabek's going to be coming forward and bring the fight to him. I feel like that's kind of playing right into Tofik's kind of game plan. It looks like Tofik has definitely matured a little bit in his career. He's utilized a little bit more of the footwork, become less reckless. Because if he comes out looking reckless against Mitabek, I just don't think his short hooks are really good enough. But, the fact that Mateus Rebecki's sitting there and lighting up Mitabek on the feet is kind of concerning because I think Tofik Musayev is a way better striker than both these guys. So, my hope and prayer and Team Alpha Male's fucking dog shit. We know this already. Flashback to Cody Garbrandt last week. But I'm just praying that they set this Mitabek kid up and they say, hey, man, just go out there and grapple, set the pace, hold this kid up against the fence. Let's not turn this into a dogfight. Let's make him think about the takedowns, then let's work the striking. Because I'm worried if this Mitabek comes out and starts striking early with Tofik after that last fight, the damage he took, everything, all the factors, man, I'm concerned. So I'm going to be sweating dick on this one. I am picking Mitabek. I don't love it at all, man, because if there was no bias here, I think I'm picking Tofik. So, because this kid, he's a marauder. Go look at some of Tofik. I mean, he's the real definition of a marauder. At least he was back in his early day careers. Go watch that fight against Pitbull that he had. It was a sick fight, but obviously it was when he was younger. I don't think he's going to look that great at 35, and I think Mitabek's going to come out there, grapple a little bit more, hopefully have a better game plan. But, man, you never know, man. Look at the guy. But we love him. We're picking Mitabek Orobai by 30-27. No, we're not. We're picking him by 29-28. Close fight. Okay, Curtis Blades versus Rizvan Kuniev. And, guys, I can't come out here and pick Curtis Blades and be serious about it. So we are going to be going with Rizvan Kuniev. Obviously, seeing the super impressive performances he's been putting on lately, this guy's looking like a real contender to take the belt off Tom Aspinall. I'm fucking with you guys, man. We're going Curtis Blades by whatever he wants. I'm taking round two finish by KO or submission. I'm just taking Curtis Blades round two. Rizvan Kuniev's obviously a fat slob that'll probably end up gassing out, and his claim to fame is beating that fucking jobber that Francis Ngannou knocked out. I don't even remember his name, but yeah, we're taking Curtis Blades. So yeah, let's fuck get this steroid cheat the fuck out of here, man. Curtis Blades is gonna shut this guy down. Round two finish, easy. Okay, now shit's about to get good, man. Cause we've actually got a little bit of a matchup here, and I'm excited to break this one down because I already know what's gonna happen. I already know what's gonna happen here. So Rafael Fiziev versus Ignacio Bahamondes. Obviously, this is a situation I was kind of hoping I could get Rafael Fiziev at like a plus 200, but for some reason they just love setting this guy's fucking lines like way close or making him the favorite in situations. Man, unless the odds makers are really doing their homework here and they really know what's going on, I do actually think Rafael Fiziev's going to win. If you look at a lot of where Rafael Fiziev struggled against Justin Gaethje, it was in that pocket boxing, that ebb and flow, where that's Justin Gaethje's claim to fame, man, is that slip head movement, rip uppercut, just kind of having a great feel of Justin's got one of the best pocket feels in the game. So, he even was piecing up Dustin Poirier a lot of that fight. So, Justin Gaethje's one of the best in the pocket, and I don't think when Rafael does get in that distance that, Ignacio is going to be able to do anything in the pocket. I think he's way too long. And I think in a guy in Rafael Fiziev where he's this kind of Muay Thai, he's got great eyes. Go watch him avoid head kicks. He slides right back, leans back. I think he's got great eyes for that type of stuff. I think he's going to already know what Ignacio Bahamondes is going to want to do before he does it. And then I also think, I watched Ignacio Bahamondes in person against Ludovic, was it Ludovic Klein? I'll put whatever it was. But anyways, I watched that fight in person, and fuck, that's gonna bug me, man. I don't know if it was Ludovic Klein. Give me a second. Yeah, I know my shit. It was Ludovic Klein. So yeah, anyways, I just watched that in person. Another guy who shares the exact same stature as Rafael Fiziev. 5'7", shorter, smaller guy. And I watched this guy just run this kid around the cage, bully him, beat him everywhere. And I was like, man, this Ignacio Bahamondes kid, I think he's good, but I don't. He's really been just beating up jobbers. If you really look at the people that he's beaten, I don't think Manuel Torres as much. That other old guy he knocked out, and then what fucking the tarantula, man, dude, the guy didn't even move when the legs were wrapped around him for an arm or a triangle. He didn't even move, and also he was getting the better. Jalen Turner was getting the better of Ignacio Bahamondes before that moment too. So I think Rafael Fiziev's going to be able to get the takedowns. I think he's going to see everything Ignacio's doing. I think he's going to be able to start frustrating Ignacio and start to kind of put on those long combinations and make loud noises. And I think he's going to take it. I think he's in his hometown here too, kind of. Everything's pointing to Rafael Fiziev. Kind of still a buy low spot because people are low on him for losing a fight to Gaethje on short notice. Is what it is. He's kind of been on a little bit of a losing streak. I think he's going to turn it around and beat Ignacio Bahamondes this week. I think Rafael Fiziev is a great pick this week and a great play. I'll be playing the shit out of him this week. So, okay, last but not least, this is an interesting one because we got a situation where everybody's low on Jamal Hill, man. Everybody's hating on the guy. And I usually don't like picking fighters who have gone through a pretty significant injury such as an Achilles tear, but I think this week's going to be a bit different, man. I think Jamal Hill's mindset, I think he's finally come back down to earth. I think he's finally humbled a little bit. And I think this is a situation where everybody's super high on Khalil because, he did decent against Alex Pereira. He did do good. But you got to remember, he was putting all of his energy and all of the marbles into beating him early, okay? He beat him 1 round or 2 rounds, maybe give him 2 rounds early. He did as much as he could, and he gassed the fuck out. I don't think Khalil is typically that good, that explosive, and I think if he kind of sits back and doesn't do the exact same thing he did against Alex Pereira, I think it's going to be a problem, man. I think Jamal Hill's going to be catching him with the straight shots. Jamal's got a really good jab, too. He's already seen the jab work really good. I think the second that he touches that nose, it's going to start opening up and leaking again. And I think once that happens, man, it's just going to be the start of the end. Khalil's gas tank's going to start to run out. And I really do, man. I really foresee it, man. I really know just Jamal. I just know with the double thumbs up, man. I know this guy's gonna win this fight, man. I think you got those two losses, whatever. He looked really good against Yuri. I wouldn't say really good, still flat-footed, still terrible at fighting, but I think this is just a matchup that he wins. And Khalil really isn't that good, man. I've never been that high on Khalil. When I first heard this matchup was announced, I think everybody was just immediately, yeah, Khalil. But the more I watch tape, the more I think about it. I think Jamal Hill has many ways to win, and I don't think Khalil's left hook is really going to be, because that's really what we see Jamal Hill get caught with a lot, is that left hook, a tight left hook. Every time I see Khalil throw hooks, it's always super wide. He's way outside, and I think Jamal Hill's gonna have the eyes for it. I think he's gonna make significant improvements, and I think his mindset's gonna shift where he's like, okay, I need to win this fight. Because I think he's embarrassed with himself, and I think he's starting to stop believing in himself if he lost this one too. So I like the look that Jamal Hill's given me so far this week. I think he's gonna win this fight. I think he's probably gonna win it by a finish as well. I could see him winning in the fourth or fifth round, kind of getting a finish late. Um, Khalil kind of quitting, or I could see Khalil toughing through it and just kind of being like a really bad look, getting his ass whooped in two different fights in a row. So bloodied up, beaten up, scar tissue. Who knows, man? Khalil might not ever be the same after this one, or it might not ever be the same after that last loss to Alex Pereira. So we'll see. I definitely got Jamal Hill though. So we got the co-main and main event. I think those are going to both be underdog wins. So definitely be looking to parlay those this week. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me this week. I hope to tune back in with you later this week. I kind of want to talk about that Peyton Talbot versus Monkey Boy matchup, or Jungle Boy, whatever his name is. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, do all the cool shit, man. Comment. Let me know that my picks are going to go undefeated this week. Let's do it.